Mohave County Housing Authority Board of Directors to order. First order of business is roll call. Madam Clerk.
Sally Deal.
Here.
Buster Johnson.
Here.
Ron Gould.
Here.
Travis Lingenfelter.
Here.
Hildy Angus.
Here.
Jean Bishop.
Good morning.
And Linda Sadler is not present today, but we do have a quorum.
Very good. Thank you. Item 2, discussion and possible action approval of the April 4th, 2022 meeting minutes.
Motion to approve. Second.
You've heard that motion and second. All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Aye. All opposed? As appear to have it, do have it so ordered. Item 3, report from the director. Director Smith.
Good morning, Chairman, members of the board. Let me go ahead and go through this. I'm going to go through our vouchers, give you an update on that. In our Section 8 vouchers, we have 243. Our VASH vouchers, we have 200. Our mainstream vouchers, we have 115. Our EHV, we have 26. And FYI, we have 4. With that being said, over the past year, the board did make increases, or approved increases of 9 for the Section 8 and 5 for the VASH vouchers as well. So that increased our total to 588 at this point in time. Kingman Veteran Villas, completely housed. That program is running smooth. Currently we have all of our veterans are served, and that facility is built at this time. Supportive housing programs. So our Fresh Start, we currently are up in 21, Samaritan in 12, our Bridge Subsidy Program 4, our HOPA Program 18, for a total of 55. And that concludes my report at this time.
Thank you, Director Smith. Any questions for Director Smith?
I have a question, Mr. Chairman.
Supervisor Bishop.
The Kingman Veteran Villas, I'm so proud of that, and it's good to hear that they're completely housed right now. Do we have any plans of doing anything similar in the future? Do we have any contractors that are interested in building another veteran facility?
Chairman Lingenfelter, Supervisor Bishop, in regards to that, we're always looking for opportunities to present themselves. What I mean by that is currently, in regards to just like the Veterans Villa, we're looking at doing something in Havasu, something similar, but except that would be for teachers, and that's something that a developer is working on there. I know there's another opportunity for people that are going for LIHTC, the low-income house tax credit, as well, to do that for tax-based credits. So in regards to that, to answer your question, we're always looking for opportunities within the Housing Authority to bring those opportunities forward. It really is needed to have a developer to do that in regards to the project-based and to be involved in that process as well, but we are engaging in the state all the time, developers, and attending meetings to try to make that happen.
Okay, so, just thinking back, we got so much pushback from the city as far as the location, and the location was moved across the street, but it's like a shining star, an example for other cities to follow, and hopefully we'll get more in this vicinity as well. So thank you, Michael.
Thank you. Any other comments? Move to item 4, financial report for the period of January 1st, 2022 through December 31st of 2022.
Thank you, Chairman Lingenfelter. So I'd like to just call everybody's point. I'm not going to read the exact numbers, but I'm going to focus on the families that we've served. Lake Havasu, we've served 109. For this past year. Kingman, 344, Bullhead City, 251, Colorado City, 6, for a total of 710 families. And then if you look at total expenditures on the last line, you can see the dollar amount that we spent on all of those families.
Questions for Director Smith regarding the financial report? Move to item 5. Open the public hearing, requesting comments from the public pertaining to the Mohave County Housing Authority. Yes, would you approach the podium and state your name?
Good morning, Tanya Dowson, Mohave County taxpayer. HUD facilitates centralized government. The Department of Housing and Urban Development, or HUD, was established as part of Democrat President Lyndon Johnson's Great Society in 1965. It seems the only logical conclusion would be when the Housing Authority votes for HUD programs, they are advancing the Democrat agenda and expanding centralized government. Forcing taxpayers to subsidize rent is compulsory charity. In some cases, recipients have received over $1,200 a month of taxpayer money. Shouldn't Americans be free to choose which charities they contribute to? According to the IRS's Citizens Guide to the federal budget, it appears that approximately 40% of our federal income tax dollars goes towards government wealth redistribution programs. Just imagine what you could do if you had the 40% of your hard-earned tax money back. Imagine what the economy could be like. The government doesn't have anything to give that it hasn't first taken from someone else. The only mechanism government has to take something is through force, the threat of violence. Veterans and children are often shamelessly exploited, used as justification for HUD grants that expand centralized authoritarian power. Do you suppose our veterans appreciate our local government officials so easily trading our freedoms away that they fought and sacrificed so dearly for? Will future generations be grateful as they grow up and learn their local government officials traded their freedom for harmful government grants? Not likely. I sure wasn't grateful when I found out about Lyndon Johnson and his Great Society plan. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. This is a public hearing. Soliciting comments. Is there anyone in the audience that would wish to provide comments pertaining to the Mohave County Housing Authority? Second request. Final request. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to offer comments pertaining to the Mohave County Housing Authority? Hearing none, I'll close the public hearing. Item 6. Discussion and possible action approval of the Mohave County Housing Authority revisions to the following sections of Mohave County Housing Authority's Administrative Plan, Chapter 3, 3-3C, Other Permitted Reasons for Denial of Assistance Criminal Activity, pages 3 through 23. Director Smith.
Thank you, Chairman Lincoln Felters, members of the board. So after reviewing our administrative plan and comparing that in discussion with other local housing authorities, we were the last, it's my understanding, we were the last housing authority to still have a 5-year requirement. So with that being said, best practices within the state are 3 years. We simply moved to make this a 3-year policy.
Any questions for Director Smith?
Mr. Chairman.
Supervisor Gould.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Smith, why is that a best practice?
Well, if you look at, when you think of people coming out of jail or issues that they have ongoing, so forth and so on, the timing of things, making it more difficult for people to actually find housing always is an issue. When you look at the reentry program and things of that nature, it's along the similar process of that, if I had to equate it to that. And just really looking at 3 years, 5 years, it's not like it was something that happened, recently. This is, 3 years, and they paid their time and to society as well as their debt to society.
Was there a change in the federal rules at some point? Is that why the other housing authorities went from 5 years for drug dealers and violent criminals?
Chairman Lincoln Felter, Supervisor Gould, I'm not aware of that. I don't believe there was. It's not, like I said, this is just after reviewing it and seeing what was laid out in front of us. We decided to move from 5 years to 3 years.
to be concurrent with the best practices of all the other counties within the state of Arizona.
It's just like, I take issue with the word best practices. Just because other people do it doesn't necessarily mean that's the best way to do it.
I would agree, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Chairman Lingenfelter.
Supervisor Angus.
Is this whole program dependent on us doing this resolution?
Chairman Lingenfelter, Supervisor Angus, this isn't, we're not on that
Oh, I'm sorry. I am way off of
Item
that
yet.
this morning.
this just as relates to our administrative policy of how we actually facilitate the program.
Oh, okay. I apologize. I'll talk when we get to that next one. Sorry.
Chairman Lingenfelter,
Supervisor Bishop.
motion to approve.
You've heard that motion. Do you have a second? Motion fails for lack of a second. I would have a question, Mr. Smith, just to make sure I heard you correctly. Are you saying that out of the 15 counties that Mohave County is the last one that has 5 years in their guidelines?
Chairman Lingenfelter, I believe that is correct. We're either the last one or the second to last agency that has that requirement.
Who's the other one that's in question in your mind?
I'm sorry, sir?
Who's the other county? Which is the other county that's in question in your mind?
I don't recall. I know when we were going through it, we updated this 6 or 7 months ago and went through the process of reviewing it. If you like, I can find that information and definitely bring it back to the board. But like I said, I can also ask my housing manager who's here. Maybe she has that information as well. We are the last? Thank you. I've conferred with my housing manager, Nate Rush, and we are the last one at this time.
Right. And the other question I would have sort of piggybacks on Supervisor Gould's question. When I first saw this, I thought, well, are we doing this because if we don't do it, nobody's going to qualify? I mean, are there people that have criminal activity that are trying to apply that have something popping up in years 4 and 5 that make them ineligible? I mean, you're trying to serve more people by doing this, right? You're making it less restrictive by doing this.
Chairman Lingenfelter, member of the board, really the objective is just to make sure that after people have gone through a certain amount of period of time, they've done their due diligence, they've provided all the things they needed to do for society, that they now have an opportunity and this isn't held against them. Those were the best practices. If there's something else that I can look for the board, I'd gladly be able to do that or take direction from the board in regards to 3 to 5 years. This was our recommendation to the board.
Thank you, Director Smith. Appreciate it.
Mr. Chairman,
Supervisor Gould.
I move that the board deny the change from 5 to 3 years.
Second.
You've heard that motion and second. Any other discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed?
Aye.
Ayes appear to have it. Do have it, so ordered. Item 6B, Director Smith. Was that covered in the,
Yes, Chairman.
okay, thank you. We'll go to item 7 then. Discussion and possible action adoption of resolution 2023-01 authorizing submission of Mohave County Housing Authority's civil rights certification. Is there anything you'd like to say on this issue?
I think the document speaks for itself, sir. Chairman.
Now.
Yeah, Supervisor Angus,
Now?
thank you.
Sorry about that. That was embarrassing. So again, are these programs dependent on us passing this resolution?
It is my understanding that these are requirements for us to be a housing authority, that we do need to have the chairman of the housing authority sign these and for us to be able to move forward. So yes, Chairman
Okay, well-
Lingenfelter, Supervisor Angus, that is correct.
This one, I mean, we've been doing it since probably the 60s, right? Every year we have to do that on, and it seems innocuous enough, but a little later on in the meeting, we're going to be having some other proclamations that, they seem innocuous, but as a whole, together, they tell a story of socialism. And we better be looking out for all of that. So I'm okay with this one, but I'm uncomfortable with all the other ones and the ones we do in the past. It's what we say about who we are as a county. So anyway, with that, I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
You've heard that motion, second. Any other discussion? Hearing none. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? The ayes appear to have it, do have it, so ordered. Call to the public. Doesn't appear we have anybody in the audience wishing to speak. Announcements. Does anyone have any announcements to share? Hearing no announcements, we will adjourn. Thank you.